Hey guys, it's the Faceless Beanie and welcome to my easy Frost guide where I'll explain his abilities, synergies, as well as show you 3 builds. Let's get right into it. Frost's passive provides a 10% chance to temporarily freeze any opponent that performs a melee attack on Frost for 20 seconds. Frost's first ability, Freeze, launches an icy projectile in the direction of the aiming reticle that travels till it hits an object. On impact, it deals cold damage and freezes enemies hit directly for a limited time. It also deals area of effect damage to enemies within the impact radius and inflicts cold damage over time. Damage is affected by ability strength and freeze duration is affected by ability duration. The augment mod Freeze Force creates a wave of energy when you hold freeze on cast. This wave grants the caster and nearby allies additional cold damage to all attacks for a limited time. Let's move on to Frost's second ability, Ice Wave. Ice Wave is a wave of ice shards that deal cold damage to targets within its area of effect. It disperses at a maximum of a 60-degree angle after modding. Ice Wave follows terrain, so it'll change elevation to damage enemies that are on a higher or lower platform than you. Damage is affected by ability strength, and the angle, width, and length of the wave is affected by ability range. The augment mod Ice Wave Impedance causes Ice Wave to leave a trail of frozen ground that slows enemies walking over it for a limited time. Next, Snow Globe. Frost creates a protective globe of ice with its own health pool that is invulnerable upon activation for 4 seconds. Any incoming damage during this 4-second period is absorbed and added to the snow globe's health. There can be 4 snow globes active simultaneously. Casting a new globe when there are 4 already active will replace the oldest globe. Casting Snow Globe repeatedly while inside an existing globe will remove the older globe but absorb all of its health and combine it into the new globe. Invulnerability is refreshed for each cast. Snow Globe freezes enemies within its radius upon activation, pushing them outwards. If these enemies are pushed towards walls or obstacles, they'll be dealt a significant amount of damage. When enemies enter the globe, their movement and attack speeds are significantly reduced. Snow Globe blocks almost all incoming friendly and hostile gunfire. Casting Freeze onto a globe will destroy it, triggering an explosion that damages enemies within the area of effect. All damage is affected by ability strength. Globe radius is affected by ability duration. The invulnerability period upon initial cast of a snow globe is not affected by ability duration. It's a fixed 4 seconds. The augment mod Chilling Globe gives Snow Globe a chance to temporarily freeze enemies that enter the globe. Finally, Avalanche. Frost summons an avalanche to crash down around him, striking all enemies within a limited radius with a 600% cold status chance. Shortly after, enemies are frozen in place and their armor is reduced for a limited time. Cold damage is dealt to frozen enemies once the ability runs out. If a frozen enemy is killed, they shatter and deal cold damage to the enemies nearby. Armor reduction is only valid while the enemy is frozen and it does not stack with repeated casts. Casting repeatedly will simply refresh the armor reduction window as well as continuously deal cold damage. Casting Freeze on a target frozen by avalanche will extend the armor reduction and the freeze duration. Armor reduction, initial damage, and shatter damage are all affected by ability strength. Freeze duration is affected by ability duration and ability radius is affected by ability range. The augment mod Icy Avalanche grants the caster and allies a protective coating of ice that scales with each enemy frozen by avalanche. The coating absorbs all incoming damage and lasts till it's fully depleted. Let's move into the builds and practical uses for Frost. This 4-former build focuses on casting Snow Globe and protecting your allies and defense targets, mainly focused on Frost's armor and ability strength to boost Snow Globe's health. Cover excavation, mobile defense, or defense targets with a snow globe and recast a couple times, utilizing the invulnerability window to create an impenetrable snow globe. You can also use this to defend your allies in a survival mission or in boss fights. For arbitrations, especially excavation missions, this is the go-to build, also focusing on Snow Globe. Streamline isn't maxed out as efficiency is already pretty decent. The main strength of Frost in arbitrations is how arbitration drones are separated from enemies as they can't enter the Snow Globe. Additionally, you can cast Snow Globes to protect more than one excavator at once. The final build focuses on strength and some range and efficiency to repeatedly cast Avalanche. You can rely on Avalanche to clear rooms of enemies at lower levels or simply rely on its armor reduction at higher levels. You need to reach 250% ability strength for the 100% armor reduction. Avalanche does particularly well against Corpus as Freeze deals double damage against Corpus units. Cast Avalanche and proceed to clear rooms with the weapon of your choice, since the targets are now all stripped of their armor. A slower approach would be to repeatedly cast Avalanche and slowly kill the armor-stripped enemies with cold damage. This build also works pretty well for casting Snow Globes. That's about it. I hope this helped you out. This is the Faceless Beanie, signing out.